Welcome back to another episode of House of Cards. Coming at you with episode number 70. Oh my gosh, we are getting up there in the numbers. Well, today's a really fun day because we are going to do a couple PSA reveals. Grading came back, and we are also going to check in on a BGS return of just one card from BGS, and we're also going to see what happened on my PSA crossover from BGS to PSA attempt that I did. So lots to get into, lots of boxes to open, and a lot of fun to be had. So we will start off the video like always with a little bit of a public service announcement to subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. You'll really enjoy it. I promise you, no regrets. Also, if you like the video, go ahead and hit the thumbs up icon. That makes a lot of difference when it comes to people putting their eyeballs on these videos. Okay, well, now that that's out of the way, I already prepped a couple of the boxes because, as you may or may not know, these PSA boxes are a pain in the butt to open. So I kind of ripped it open already, but anyways, everything is in there, as you can see. So we're gonna just go through each card, and there's not too many. There's probably about 15 total. So we're going to go through each card, and we're going to talk about each one. I'm going to show you some information on it on the pop report, and then we're also going to show you sort of, some recent comps or something, close to it. Some of these are a little bit more on the rare side, so not tons of comps, but at least we'll find something in the ballpark. So all right, that's what we're going to do. So I got my first pile here. I'm actually just going to open up both boxes here. There's no point in holding back. So we'll just get these all ready to go. All right, very good. Okay, well, let's start off with the very first card here. And this is the 1981 Calico Flash 82. So I think it's a sticker from 1981 for the 1982 World Cup, as far as I know. It's a real simple Maradona sticker, and if you don't know Maradona, he's considered probably one of the top 3 or 4 all-time great soccer players, up there with Messi, Ronaldo, Pele, some of the big names. But Maradona was obviously very his career was late 70s and then all into the 90s more or less. So this sticker I found on eBay, and I was pretty stoked. I got it for a pretty decent price. Sent it in, it came back a PSA 5, which is a pretty good grade. The centering on these are obviously atrocious, and that's just kind of the way they're cut. There's not too many out there to be seen. So let's go ahead and look on the screen here at what some recent comps look like. So there you go. You can see there's a total population of only 12 of these. So 0 10s, 0 9s, 2 8s, 0 7s, 4 6s, 3 5s, and so on. So the 5 is seems like it's kind of in the middle there of a pretty common grade. 5 or 6 seems like the most common grade for this. And let's go ahead and see if there's any something to comp it to. So you can see here, this is back in April, so, a little while ago, the market was still probably in a different spot than it is now, but the PSA 6 sold for $7.99, so $800. So, I think a 5 would probably be able to fetch, $500-$600 maybe. Again, these don't come up very often, so I think a lot of people that collect Maradona or are into him will probably, pay what they need to pay to get something like this. So I love this personally. I'm probably not going to do anything with it. Just keep it in my stash. So very cool Maradona there. All right, moving on. Oh, stuff's falling around everywhere. Okay, let's look at number 2 here. All right, very cool. So this is, there you go, the 2005 Panini Super Barca Lionel Messi card. So this is a second-year Messi, technically. And this was, from the Panini Super Barca set. As you can see here, it says 0506. His rookie would have been 0405. But nonetheless, really beautiful sticker. Something interesting about this, I was looking at this. I don't really know. When I sent it in, there was nothing wrong with it, and I still don't see anything wrong with it. So really curious why I got a 5. The centering is not bad. Top to bottom is a little off, but your left to right's pretty good. You know, a 5 to me would indicate there's some sort of a small like crease or something in the card, and I don't see anything. So there's a couple things in this order where you might be a little shocked on the grade, because I don't know, I think, you know, a lot of these older stickers and stuff, they get just naturally graded harder. But anyways, I love this sticker. I think it's beautiful. So another nice one for the Messi collection here. So let's look at pop reports real quick. So we have here, so this is number 109. You'll see 109. There's only 35 of these in graded condition. 3 10s, 10 9s, 11 8s, 6 7s, 2 6s, 1 5, hey, 2 4s, and so on. So again, I think this one got a little bit undergraded, so I'm definitely going to consider this one to maybe get sent back in for another opinion. But we'll see. Again, this one is going to stay in my collection, so I don't really need it like anytime soon. I'm not trying to do a quick flip or anything like that, so it can go back and get graded appropriately. All right. Oh, I'm also want to show you the recent eBay comps. There you go. So there was nothing in that grade. Here's what a PSA 9 did, you know, last week. So $400 for 9. So, you know, again, the 5 is probably going to be pretty low compared to that, maybe, you know, a couple $100. But again, I personally think this probably deserves more like a 7. I mean, unless I'm totally missing something, which, you know, I've looked it over and over and I don't see anything. So I would definitely be considering sending that back in to regrade. Okay, moving on. Here is one of the classics, the Panini Mega Cracks, the Barca special set. So the Barca's set was, you know, basically like a team set that they did for the Barca team because they were just so dominant. So this is from 04-05 season. So this is a Lionel Messi rookie card. This one right here got a PSA 6, which again, I was a little bit kind of surprised about. There is a little bit of a corner issue, but it's nothing, you know, that terrible. So I was kind of like shocked a little bit. It got a 6, but I was thinking maybe a 7 would be a little bit more appropriate. But anyways, what you want to know about these cards is there's 2 different cards. There is the Campeón and the Campeón. So there's the Spanish and the Catalan. So the Campeón is actually the more rare version, which I'll show you here in the PSA. So you'll see here, this is card number 89 in the Campeón, which is the Catalan. And there's only 324 graded, whereas the Campeón, which is the Spanish version, there's over almost 800 graded. So the Campeón is a lot more sought after, and it's a lot more rare. So you'll see the grades here. They're pretty well spread out across all of them, 40 10s, 58 9s, you know, so on and so forth. So I think it's a really awesome card. There's still, you know, tons of upside on this card in my opinion. So I got a comp here for PSA 7, which again, not exactly what this is, but, you know, sold for about $870, you know, about a week and a half ago. So again, these are, to me, are long-term holds. I don't foresee myself, you know, needing to get rid of these for any reason, because I have a lot of faith in the soccer card market, and I have a lot of faith in, obviously, Messi is one of the GOATs. So we will be hanging on to that guy. And that's going to be kind of a common theme throughout today's episode, is I'm keeping a lot of this stuff. All right. The next one is a really cool one. So this is the 2004 Premier League Cristiano Ronaldo card. This is a sticker, obviously not a card. It's a little bit bigger. It's a little bit more card size. They do that. Sometimes they'll make like a smaller sticker and then a bigger sticker in certain sets. But this one is just quite beautiful. It has that kind of glittery, sort of almost cracked ice sort of look to it. This is the FA Premier League, so Merlin was the producer of this. So yeah, this is a second year technically Ronaldo cards, his first year with Manchester. So that's, you know, kind of, you know, the big sort of, you know, his first kind of like major team, you know, card that he was in. So got a 7 on this, which, you know, obviously I don't think that's terrible. This card was in pretty good shape. Centering is slightly off left to right, but the other copies I've seen, there's not much, you know, in ways of like, well, perfectly centered ones. So I thought this one was pretty good. The top to bottom centering is almost spot on. So let's look at the PSA stuff here real quick. So this one is really not graded very often. So only got graded 26 times. no 10s, 7 9s, 4 8s, 6 7s, and 2 6s, and a few more down the road there. So this one is, in the upper echelon, 9, 10, 8, 7. Yeah, so, there's only 11 graded higher than this one. So I think this is a beautiful card. There has not been any that I was able to find graded that have sold yet. So on eBay here, I'll show you from a couple weeks ago. This is just a raw copy here for $350. So I would assume this is probably going to fetch close to $1,000 if it was to go on the market like as is, because again, you're not guaranteed anything on these cards. They are not stickers, sorry. They are not easy to grade, and it's not like modern, ultra modern where all you get are 9s or 10s, or anything below that you're basically breaking even on raw. With stickers, especially older stickers that are 20 years old almost, you're going to get probably a 6 or a 7 is probably going to be your median price, where 8s, 9s, and 10s are almost impossible. But anyways, beautiful sticker. I love this a lot. Again, probably not going anywhere. I'll keep it right where it was. All right, let's move on to our next Ronaldo. So this is again a 2004, so the same year as the previous one. This is the SP Authentic. This is the card that he actually has 3 different versions of. So there's 3 of him in different kind of poses. The backs are all the same. But this is number 67. This one is probably one of my favorite. I just think it's the most kind of visually appealing picture, even though it looks like his arm is inside his sleeve. But so again, first year of him being at Manchester, so very important card. A lot of people love this set. It's a really nice looking set too. You see it in hand, it looks a lot more impressive. But this one came back in 9, so that's super good. And let's go ahead and look at the pop report, and also realize this is a card, not a sticker, so you have a little bit of a better chance of getting a good grade when it's a card, just because it's a little bit more traditional. So let's look here. Only going to grade it 130 times. 51 10s and 44 9s, and then a few more down the line. So seems like it's a pretty good shot at getting a 10 or a 9. The centering on these, I've noticed, is a little bit tricky. So if you are looking for one of these, make sure you pay attention to the gaps between left or right there. But anyways, I think it's quite a cool card, and let's go ahead and peek at what the prices are doing. So this one sold about 3 weeks ago for $1,200 in a 9, so pretty solid card. Definitely can fetch a pretty penny. And again, I think these are, again, great holds if you want to. This could be a nice, sell off, because, the price I paid for the actual card is far less than, what it's going for in a 9. So I could definitely, recoup some money and, move it into something else, because these aren't super hard to find, but it's getting harder to find them at like a reasonable price, because all the raw copies are getting pretty astronomical. So anyways, very beautiful card. Another Ronaldo, love it. All right, this next one I kind of sent in as almost like see what happens sort of thing. Because I knew it was a beater. When I got this card from the guy I bought it from, I almost like returned it, but then I was like, you know what, whatever. I got it early, so I got it for a good price, and by the time I was ready to return it, I was just like, the price has already shot up, and it would have been not even worth my time. So my goal was to get back like a not like an obscenely bad grade, but get something that was okay enough that I could at least sell it and maybe recoup my money and make a few bucks. But it is it is this guy right here. So this is the 96 Merlin Premier Gold David Beckham. So a lot of people consider this a rookie card. This is kind of a rookie sort of ish, second year sort of ish. It's hard because PSA doesn't always label the years right. They don't do the like 95, 96, like they do in basketball and stuff. So a lot of the times it will be his rookie, but it will be labeled differently than what his, actual rookie year was. So anyways, it's a cool card. It's, a Merlin card, but it's the actual card, not sticker. So yeah, so this is a PSA 4, which again is not the greatest grade, because there is, there's quite a bit of damage on here. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's pretty bad. But it still at least has some eye appeal, really, if you look at it. Like the corners aren't like beat to hell or anything like that, and the surface is okay. There's a few little dings in it, that's why I got the 4, but for the most part, the back is not terrible. It's got a little touch of whitening down there, so I think it has good eye appeal. But yeah, the 4 is definitely going to make it worth a lot less. So let's look at the pop report real quick. So as you can see here, 171 total graded, only 2010, so pretty low gem rate. But yeah, the 9s and 8s are pretty common, so definitely a 4. Yeah, I'm the only 4. This is it. PSA, it's one of one, right? Isn't that what they say on eBay? So anyways, price wise, I don't really know. So here's a PSA 6 that sold for $821. I'm guessing this will probably clock in around like $200-300 if I'm lucky. So anyways, very kind of a fun little experiment there. I sent that in just to kind of see what you would get. All right, moving on, another Beckham. So this one is a true rookie card. This is the 1995. See, now they dated that differently than the 1996 Merlin Premier League. So this is same company, Merlin, but this is the sticker instead of the card. This one I was really happy with. The PSA 7 is a great grade for this sticker in particularly. And this sticker has great eye appeal. The centering is pretty good, left to right. And your top to bottom is, you know, ever so slightly off, a little bit heavy on the bottom. But for the most part, this is a really hard sticker to find in great condition. So let's go ahead and take a look here at the pop report. So if you see here, there are no 10s. There's only been graded 10 times. So there's only 10 of these graded in the world right now. 1 9, 1 8, 4 7. So it looks like 7's kind of the common grade. And then one of each of the other grades going down to a 3. So again, this is a very, very, very cool sticker. See, it says 96 on the back, but they label it 95. So again, it's supposed to be 95, 96. And I think they're usually supposed to put the earlier year as the year on the sticker, but you know, who knows. Anyway, so very cool. Let's look at what kind of comps are going for here. Wow. Okay, so this is an 8. So this isn't, you know, the 7, but the 8 went for about $810. So, and this was in June. So yeah, like a week ago. So very recent. I could assume this could probably get $600 to $700 just because, again, the rarity of it. You can usually get a little bit of a higher premium than just like your typical, you know, kind of, you know, formula that you would do for, you know, going from a 7 to an 8 and so on and so forth. But anyways, very, very cool Beckham card. I'm excited to have that. All right, moving on. This is another Lionel Messi from 2005. This is the Colecciones Este. So the Este is a popular set, and this is so 0506. So again, his second year card. And yeah, this is just a cool sticker. And I keep saying card when it's a sticker, so apologize. But I just like that kind of dual shot. This is a very famous photo of him. You'll see it in like 3 other cards. The exact same photo. They just kind of recycled it throughout all his stuff from his first and second years. But this came back a PSA 7, so definitely not terrible for a sticker. I think a 7 is a good grade to get for a sticker. So let's go ahead and pull up this PSA 7 real quick. So you'll see here no 10s don't exist. There's only 63 total graded, only 6 9s, so very low. So then once you get down to 8s and 7s, you got your 6s and your 5s all have the same amount. So yeah, it's a very common card to get between a 5 and an 8 basically. So pretty happy with a 7 being on the higher end of the spectrum there. So very cool second year Messi. Let's take a look real quick at potential sale prices. So here's an 8. I didn't find any comps for 7. It was $719. So again, who knows? A 7 may be down, you know, in the 600, high 500 range. So very, very cool. Love that card sticker. Potato, right? All right, moving on. So we have here another 2005 Panini Champions, Lionel Messi's. So what's funny is it's supposed to be Champions of Europe, but they put his name in the middle, so it's kind of a weird, like, breaks it up. But anyways, so they did like this sticker set from 1955 to 2005, and they kind of just like pulled out some of the goats out of the that 50-year run there. So of course Messi was brand new, but he made the set, so he was an early bird. This one I was actually quite surprised. It got a 9, so very, very cool sticker. You know, again, you can see the picture. See that? Look at that. It's the same guy. So they use this picture a lot. You'll see it in one more after this too. But anyways, let's take a look at the pop here. And so we got a total pop 219. So, you know, a little bit more than some of the stickers we've already looked at. Only 3510, so again, very low. And then 82.9. So the 9s are, you know, pretty common grade in this. So that tells me that these were produced a little bit of a higher quality, you know, it's Panini, so you know you have a little bit of a better chance, especially if it's a higher end set like this was, versus like their traditional just kind of World Cup stickers or whatever. They get pretty tossed around and don't really get too well taken care of in terms of like the manufacturing of them and stuff. So anyways, very cool to have this in a 9. Oh, and let's look at prices real quick. So here is a 9 that sold a couple weeks ago for $420. So yeah, I think it's a fair price, and so just a beautiful sticker. If you're a Messi fan, something that you would want to have in your collection. All right, the Messi train is going to keep on rolling here. All right, so this is the 2006 Panini World Cup Messi. So this is his first World Cup, and this set is one of the more iconic sets from the World Cup of 2006. This was a card set, not stickers. So you got a bunch of cards from the set, and of course you have Ronaldo in the set, and you have, pretty much everyone. Zlatan, you got Beckham. I mean, just tons of stars in this set. So very, very popular. The boxes of this go for thousands of dollars. This copy here was pretty clean. I was pretty happy with it when I purchased it. And again, guys, everything on here, it was a direct purchase from eBay, and I graded this myself. So there's no, pre-graded stuff that I crossed over, at least in this section. I'll show you the crossover attempt later, but just want to let you guys know, going raw to graded is what sort of was the move here. So anyways, this came back in 8, which I was kind of a little thought it would be a 9. Again, I don't really know what the major defect was that would drop it to an 8. I mean, the corners are pretty good. Yeah, I don't know. There's a couple ones on this order that kind of bewildered me. And again, I'm not the kind of guy that's going to sit here and question every card. Sometimes I'm just like, yeah, okay, that's fair. But again, this one, I mean, I looked at this thing really close before I sent it in, and I knew that it wasn't like 100% flawless, but I knew it was not, far off from a 9. So, and 8's still reasonable. So let's look at the pop here. 603 of these graded, so a bit more popular set. 5110, so very low gem rate, under 10%. 191 9s, 211 8. So the 8 and the 9 is kind of the the main grade that this gets. And then you got 99, 42, 9, so on and so forth. So anyways, very cool card. Let's take a look at what eBay's going for right now. So here you go, PSA 8, sold in about 2 weeks ago for about $500. So, a decent, a 9 definitely would jump up way above that. But I think, an 8 is a solid grade. So I'll be happy with that for now. Maybe one day I'll decide to send it in for a second opinion, but for now, I'm not sweating it because this is still a great card, and it's going to be in the PC, so no big deal. All right, and last one in this stack here. This is a nice one. This was one I was so happy when I got this because I could not believe I got it in such great condition, to be honest with you. So this is the 2006 Panini, again, World Cup. It's the 2006. This is the Candy album. So basically, it's basically this box set that came, and it was called Candy, and it had all these cards with green backs, but they had panels, a lot of them, so they would have multiple kind of players within the same card, or sticker, I should say. So obviously the goal was, you take them apart and do whatever, but luckily not everyone did that. It was because we actually now have some in good condition. So this one came back a 9, which is really impressive because this card or sticker is worth quite a lot of money, especially in the 9s and the 10s, but the 10s are insanely rare and go for, thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. So a 9, again, is second best. So let's look at the PSA here. So 268 total graded, only 2210. So again, less than 10% gem rate. 86 9, so 9s are pretty common, and then 58, 26, 41. So 8s, 9s, and 8s and 9s are pretty much your most common grades, with quite a few 7s and 6s in there as well. So very happy to have this. I thought it was beautiful. I thought it might even have a chance of getting a 10, but again, I don't ever put too much stock in the stickers because those are a lot harder to get than cards in the 10s, I'll tell you that much. So let's take a look at the PSA pricing. So here you go. This one sold in June for $1,600, $1,625 to be exact. So I think that's a pretty solid sticker, right? You can pick these up, pretty well. At least when I got them, they're fairly inexpensive. But now, you probably get a raw copy for like around $300. But again, if you get a 9, you can turn that 300 into 1600 pretty quick, so it might be worth it. But again, these are hard to grade, so don't hold it against me if you don't get a 9. Okay, moving right along, we're gonna go into our second stack here, and we are about halfway done. Actually, more than halfway done. Okay. Hope you guys enjoy these videos. I think I always loved voyeuristically watching people's PSA reveals. All right, this next one, I was a little sad. I thought it was gonna be a 10, but still, I mean, a 9. This is your Kylian Mbappe 2018 World Cup Prism Silver. So beautiful silver card here. As you probably know, Mbappe is one of the kind of young goats that a lot of people are you know, putting a lot of equity into right now because they feel like he is the future of the sport. So grab this raw again off eBay. I thought it was a clean copy. I still think it's a really clean copy. I'm still honestly a little surprised it didn't get a 10. But anyways, it's still a beautiful card regardless. It's not always about the grade and the value. Sometimes it's about having the card. But this has been graded 471 times, which is still pretty low considering a Prism card is usually highly printed. Out of that 471, there's been 225 10s and 208 9s, and pretty much the rest are just, you know, peanuts. So you can see you're pretty much a 9 or a 10 is where you're going to land, 50-50 chance, more or less. So unfortunately, this one got a 9, but still, let's look at the values of this. Still carries a pretty good premium. So here you go, June 9th went for $1,500 in a 9. So I think it's a pretty solid investment. But yeah, very beautiful. You know, I have a large Mbappe collection going, so I love having that one in there. Checks a box for me. All right, moving on. This next one is actually going to be two different, or two of the same, so we'll just bring them both out here. So again, our friend Kylian Mbappe, this is the Topps Chrome 2017 Champions League set, and you guys may have heard me talk about this set before, but I think this is a really important set. It's the first Topps Chrome set for soccer. Just a really beautiful set too. Hard to get super gem mints on these just because there's a lot of scratching and so on and so forth that happens on these, but you can, you know, fairly easily get 9s and whatnot. But so in this case I got 2 9s. Yay. Oh man, this grader was a little tough one. Anyways, let's look at the pop report here. So total population of this card 1,412. So, you know, a little higher than the rest, but nothing, you know, astronomical, not Zion or Luka numbers. 677 10s, 659s, and then, you know, a few scribblings for the other grades. So yeah, for the most part, your surface and your centering is good on these. You're more likely gonna hit a 9 or a 10. So they're a solid card. Definitely something that I want to keep one in my collection, and I'll probably sell one off to help recoup some of the grading fees here. But here's one that sold a couple weeks ago, you know, just under $300, you know, with the shipping, it was $300. But, you know, that's kind of what the average of these are going for right now, about $300 for a 9. So anyways, I think it's a very nice card for someone to have, just a nice solid Mbappe. You know, early. His rookie was 16-17, so this technically is his second year, but his first year with PSG. So yeah, anyways, very nice. Moving on, we got more of the man himself. So here is a 2018 Donruss Mbappe press proof, and this is the gold. So you guys have probably seen my collection of these golds from this set. Again, just to remind you, they're numbered out of 75. You see right there. So this one is the one where he's in his France kit. And I think this one is probably the better looking of the two of the, in this set, everyone had sort of like a domestic card and then an international card. So he had, if it's an international one, they'll say the country here. If it was domestic, then that'll be blank. But anyway, so this was, you know, one of his main cards. Definitely isn't perfect centering. The top to bottom is pretty rough. But, you know, when you see these, you just grab them because they don't pop up too often. So saw this one raw, grabbed it. I thought it looked decent enough to get a decent grade. You know, I was hoping for a 9, but I can understand an 8. And yeah, so there's that. Let's look at pop reports on this here. So this has only been graded 11 times. pretty low. You got 3 10s, 5 9s, 2 8s, 1 7. So again, I wish I would have had at least a 9, but you know, I'll take an 8. It's okay. Again, this is going to stay in the PC, so forgot about my pricing. Oh, actually, there is no pricing on this one. I actually checked, and there was nothing to be comped, so it is what it is. All right, and the second one is another one from that set, and this is the insert for Mbappe. This is the Out of This World insert, which I thought is one of the cooler inserts that they put out over the last couple years here. So again, this one got an 8, and this one I'm a little bit more kind of like, really? You know, look at that centering. The centering is gorgeous. I don't see any issue with the centering, you know, and, you know, I tried to evaluate the surface on the front and the back and the corners. They all checked out, you know. I was just looking on the back. There really isn't anything that, in my opinion, would deem it an 8 other than, I don't know. Maybe there's like a little touch of white. Look at that. You can't, I mean, there's like nothing. This should be a 9, but it is what it is. So again, this one also has a very low pop. So let's pull that up. So 3 10s, 5 9s, 2 8s, 1 7. So only 11 total graded. So super low pop, but very cool card. Moving on. All right, we're getting out of soccer. Now we're going to talk a little basketball. So if you guys watch any of my videos, you see me pick up quite a few of these Fleer Kevin Durant rookies, which I think are a nice buy. I think it's a cheap card to pick up, and you get a pretty good return on it. You can get these for anywhere between probably $30 to $60, depending. And, you know, they're not that hard to find in mint condition. It's a pretty thick paper stock. So it's definitely something that you can feel pretty confident in that you'll get it back in a decent, you know, condition. So the main thing is your centering left to right, you know, up top to bottom. So as long as you kind of see these bars are about equal and his name is floating somewhere in around the center of the white up there, you can feel pretty good about the card. So this is just the base one. There's also a glossy version of this one, but the base one is a little bit more common. So let's go ahead and look at a PSA pop on that. So this has been graded 542 times. 201 10s, 238 9s, and then down the line from there. So again, not a super hard card to grade, as you can tell from the pop report, mostly 10s and 9s. So yeah, I mean, this is a nice Durant card to have just as a nice basic rookie card of his. That's not going to break the bank. You're not paying, you know, astronomical numbers for his like Bowman or his, you know, tops or his chrome or anything like that. So here is what this one has been selling for. So about a week ago, the PSA 9 is selling for about $200. So again, you know, not a bad pickup if you're getting these for like 30, 40 bucks, get them graded and turn it around and, you know, whip it out for 200 bucks. So I'm going to definitely probably be selling this at some point, but I'm probably going to wait until till next season, just because, you know, Durant is no longer playing. All right, moving on. Only got a few left here. And this next one is Mr. Russell Wilson. So this one I'm definitely a little sad about. I can't lie to you. This is one, you know, one of my sort of PC sort of, it's not a grail by any means, but it's definitely one of my Russell Wilson PC kind of, you know, top cards to get. So I got this beautiful centering. Corners are sharp as heck. Everything looks great, but there's this one, probably not going to be able to see this because it's a really hard thing to see. But there's a little tiny like indentation right there. Let me see if the light will catch it. Oh, there you go. You see that? Like very, very tiny indentation in it. Doesn't whiten out the edge or anything like that. It's just a little tiny little press, like something square just kind of pressed it right on the edge. So anyways, I think that's why it's got an 8, which I'm a little sad about. I'm honestly going to probably crack this one and send it to BGS just because I think that I'll get such high grades with the other criteria that, you know, if they ended up giving the surface or whatever that would be considered. I don't know if that's considered an edge or a surface or what, because it's on the edge, but who knows. If they ended up, say, giving that like an 8 and everything else is a 9, 5, or a 10, you know, I think I could pull this thing up to a 9 at least, which, you know, even though it's BGS, I think it's still better than a PSA 8. So anyways, that's my plans, but let's look at this guy real quick here. PSA numbers. So 493 of these have been graded, and notice it says blue jersey. There's also another version called the white jersey, which is just a variation. But 493 out of those 318 10s. So again, this is not a hard card to gem mint. So that's why I'm a little kind of put off by the 8 because it's, the 8s aren't going to hold much value, especially when 75% of them are 10s. And then you got 149 9s and only 18 8s, right? So again, I'm going to definitely crack this and submit to BGS, I think, and see what we can get for it. But anyways, still a really cool card, definitely one for the PC. So here's what a 9 goes for, about $1,500. So I would assume the 8's probably around $1,000 or less. So I definitely see the value in spending a few extra bucks to get it bumped up to a 9 in BGS at least, right? So anyways, again, PC card, not going anywhere. Don't need to sell it right away, so I'll take the time to get it properly graded. All right, down to our final 2 from the return. All right, this is a fun one. So this is, again, one I just kind of wanted to test myself out and see what I can get for it. So this was when I bought off of Beckett Marketplace. I think I bought like 20 or 30 of these. I think they're somewhere around like 30 cents each during the whole Marvel sort of like boom. And I was just like, you know what, let me see. So I just bought a whole bunch of them, pulled out just one that I thought was gradable, which was this one. And guess what? The only card in this whole submission that got a 10. Go figure. The 30-cent card is the one that got the 10. So anyways, let's look at the pop report real quick. Super low pop report, 51 graded. 37 of them did 10 though, but the reason why I think that is that high is because I think people really only send this in, spend the money to grade it if they're like really, really, really certain that it's going to get a 10. So I think it's sort of like a little bit of an artificial high gem rate there just because that reason alone. Because really, if they're not getting a 10, you're wasting your money because, I mean, this is, a couple bucks if it's, an 8 or something. So, so yeah, so 12 9s, 2 8s, and then, nothing else. So 51 total of these, not too many, but yeah, got this in a 10. They're selling right now, so you'll see this one sold about a week ago for $125. So somewhere in that ballpark, which again, not a lot, but it's, hey, for turning 30 cents into $125 is, plus the grading fee, of course, is not a bad flip. So definitely not mad about that. That was just funny. I was like, when I got it back, I was like, of course it's the one, card that I cared less about, All right. Okay, so next is the good old, I picked this up, 2002 Topps Chrome Tom Brady. So these are really, really hard to get in good condition. Very, very, very tough centering. Very, very tough surface. The surface on these just are, well, for whatever reason, whether it's because they're 20 years old or just because, Topps Chrome didn't really do a great job, the surface gets pretty beat on these. But this one I thought was in pretty good shape, so I grabbed it online, picked it up, got an 8, which I thought, this could have been a 9. If you ask me, personally, I think this could have got a 9. Look, I mean, you can look. I mean, it is off center, just a hair left to right, but it's within that tolerance. It's within the 60/40, so I don't think that would have caused it. Top to bottom looks good. The back looks sharp. The corners, there's no problems. Edges, don't see any problems. So in my mind, I'm like, what is causing this to get an 8? So anyways, let's take a look at the pop. The pop going like 587 graded. So not bad. It's pretty low considering it's the GOAT, right? That everyone's grades Brady. It's not like people are just now grading Brady. People have been grading Brady since pretty much probably his like 3rd or 4th year. So this is his very first Topps Chrome card. So there does have some value to that. So 137 of those were 10s. Then you got the lion's share are 9s, which I wish this one was. And then 128s and then down from there. So still a very rare card for one of the greatest football players of all time. And then let's look at what this sold for. So this one just sold last week for $302 for an 8. So still a pretty solid buy. You can, obviously pick these up for, you're probably going to be like around $150, $170 for a decent copy. Depends, if you get a little lucky. Some people have them way overpriced a lot of times, but just keep an eye out. You can get them for, under $200 for sure. So an 8 being able to fetch, $300 is still definitely a solid buy. So I'm pretty happy with that. Okay, well, that is the last of the actual PSA general orders, but I do have 2 items that we can talk about real quick. Let's go ahead and do the BGS reveal. There's only 1 card in here. I opened the box already just because these boxes are always a pain in the butt. Do live. I spend like 10 minutes trying to open boxes. All right, so this is the Justin Herbert RPA that I actually traded for. Traded a Russell Wilson, I believe it was an orange BGS 9.5 for this. And the reason why I did that is because the oranges are pretty common. They're basically retail parallels. And I had quite a few Russell Wilsons, and the orange was like probably the least expensive one that I ever bought. And again, it was raw and I graded it. So again, I was only into it for a couple $100 probably after grading and everything. So this one, a guy came up to me and wanted to do a straight across trade, so I made that trade. Of course, this is a thick card, so always hard to grade these, and you definitely want to go with a BGS, but I got a BGS 8, so not terrible, I don't think. I mean, I think you want to get, you know, between an 8 and a 9 on your, you know, thick cards, so I definitely think that that's a fair grade. So centering is beautiful, 9.5. Surface is a 9. The corners is where they get you. That's always the case on these thick cards, is your corners are going to get you. And the edges, they gave me an 8.5, which I was a little surprised about because I didn't really see anything on the edges, but, you know, who am I to say? You know, the edges look good to me, so I thought the edges would get a little bit higher than that. I thought they maybe get a 9 or 9.5, but anyways, long story short is it's still a dope card. It's still Justin Herbert, numbered out of 149. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4 colors, so nice solid patch. His auto did get a 10, so that's great. Yeah, I just think this card's wonderful. I don't have any like high-end Herbert cards, so I was happy to get this. Let's look here. There was no graded comps because, you know, this is a pretty new set, and I don't think the grades have come back yet. So and there was nothing in the pop report either, so I don't think no one's graded it, and you know, there's nothing online that's graded, so it makes sense, right? So anyways, here's a copy that was sold on eBay last month. It was the best offer. $7.99 was the asking price. The other ones that I saw were probably in the $600 to $700 range, so I'm assuming they probably got an offer of like $700 on this one. So I think that's about right for raw. So, you know, I would guess if this was graded, probably fetch around $1,100, $1,200 in an 8, but definitely probably going to hold on to this. I think that Justin has a great future ahead of him. So I definitely want to at least have, you know, a 1 or 2 of a nice copy of his cards. All right, and finally, the last bit of business today, we are going to open this PSA crossover, or shall we say, attempt at a crossover. Yeah, I got the big wow. So I sent this in wanting to cross this over to an 8. I thought it had a good enough look to be an 8. So again, this is the Campio, which is the you know, better version of the 2 as far as rarity goes. But it came back as 7.5. Wow. But you know what? It's okay. You know, I mean, it's still a nice copy. Like 9.5 surface, 9.5 centering, 9 edges. And the corners, they gave me a 7. And that was what I was kind of banking on, was the fact that this had so much good, you know, 9.5, 9.5, just this one corner has like a little slight, it's hard to see here. I put my hand behind it. I mean, it's like a touch soft, right? So I was like, you know what? It's so strong in the other grades. Maybe I can get them to move it up to an 8, but nope, that didn't happen. But, you know, let's see. You know, it's hard to get comps on these. There's not that many BGS copies, or at least there's not BGS 7.5. So I pulled a PSA 7 thinking that was kind of, you know, ballpark, close to the same one. So this one here, you can see went for $870. So still a solid card. Definitely not one that I am like mad about or anything, but it does suck when you know, pay money for someone to cross it over and then it doesn't cross. So, oh well. All right, guys. Well, whew, that was a marathon. Thank you for hanging out for these 45 minutes or so. Hope you had some fun. Hope you saw some cool cards. Again, I kind of collect a little bit of everything. So soccer is obviously my main focus right now, but I definitely still love football and baseball and basketball and all the things, and Marvel, I guess, right? I'm now officially a Marvel collector. But anyways, if you haven't yet subscribed, I would love for you to do so. It means the world to me. And if you liked the video, now that we got all the way through it, hit the like button, and we will see you on the next one. And until then, peace.